there, good looking. If you're looking for a lower body workout that will strengthen everything from the waist down, you have come to the right workout, girlfriend. Now listen, you do need some tools for this workout though. So I want you to grab a pair of dumbbells. And if you have a choice of dumbbells, err on the side of heavy, as well as a booty band. But if you don't have a booty band, don't worry, we can still get those glutes of yours without one. And a chair. A couch will work as well. Okay? All right, let's go get warmed up. Hello there. Hey, welcome. I'm PJ. This is George. And we both help women over the age of 40 reclaim the tush of their 20s. Well, I do. He just lies there and looks cute. Hey, if you're new to the channel, click subscribe. I would love the opportunity to keep working with you. Now, this workout, we are starting with a glute activation series, and that's going to hit the glutes as well as warm us up. So if you've got a booty band, let's get it on. Let's start around just the ankles for me. Okay, and then I want you to give yourself some room on one side. From this position, hip hinge, so you're gonna hear me say that a lot today. So that means that we are, let me go to my side here. That means we are hinging right at the crease of the top of the leg. Not where a lot of people hinge, which is the low back, okay? We don't want to do that. We want to hinge through so that we keep what we call neutral spine. So let's hip hinge. Yeah, perfect. Now keep the knees, feet, hips all tracking straight ahead. Give me 4 to 5 side shuffles, whatever you got room for. And we're here for about 30 seconds, and then we'll move on. So as I said, this whole series that we're doing with the booty band is going to activate the glutes and really get a certain muscle group that tends to be weak, which is your gluteus medius, or we commonly refer to it as the glute med. And then we'll move into our strength workout when we're nice and warm and toasty. And that'll also enable us to fire up more glutes during our strength workout too. Perfect. Now this guy, I don't know if you can see his bed. He's been destroying it. Even though he's got 1,000 chew toys in the house. Woo! Should be getting a little warm here. Beautiful. Last time over here. And release. Now let's take that booty band, bring it above the knees, and now take yourself onto your ground. Set yourself up into a side plank. Bottom elbow underneath the shoulder. Bottom knee is bent, lined up with the hip, so I want you to open up the hip. You don't have the bum pushed back. All right, now let's do this together. We have 10 reps. From this position, lift up into a side plank. Now lift your top leg up, lead with the heel, lower the leg, then lower the hip. Okay, so there's 1. Here we go. 2. So we're working glute med again as well as core. 3. 4. 5. Try to keep that straight line from shoulder to hip to knee. 6. 7, whoo, you feel that in the hips? Oh yeah, baby. 8, 9, last one, 10. Whoo, let's do the other side. Elbow under shoulder, that protects the shoulder joint itself. Remember to open up the hips, so don't be rolled back. Knee, hip, shoulder align, ready, and plank, leg lift, whoo, and lower. Now take a peek. You want to lead with the heel on this type of movement. That's going to get that glute med further fired up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. On your back, heels close to the bum, feet close together. Hands off the mat. Here, push through the heels and join me. I'll talk you through it. Lift the hips up as high as you can. Now hold here. Now open up the knees for 1 and close them. 2 more. 2, 3. Now lower the bum down. Okay, 9 more like that. Here we go. So it's a bridge and then a frog. So we're working the outer hip again. And then hips down. Good. Here's 3, So not the best exercise if somebody were to walk in right now. And that has happened in my other videos. Everybody from sons and their friends to father-in-laws. The joys of working out at home, right? Woo! So really getting into the glutes and then glute med as we do the frog pump here. Last 4. Push through those heels, get those glutes fired up. Good, 3 more. And 2. One more. And come on up. Keep that booty band on though. I'm not done with you yet. From this position, you're going to use your right leg. Bend at the knee for me. Stabilizing leg is soft as well if you need to hold on to something for balance. And now let's perform what they call a fire hydrant. You ready? For 10. Ready? Hold on to something if you need to. Here we go. 10. 9. Well, here you go. You know this one, don't you, George? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. He sure does. Actually, even my female dog, she hangs around with too many boy dogs. She lifts her leg too. Ready? Go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Okay, so booty bend is now under the feet. We need 1 dumbbell for this, so do your little geisha walk over and geisha walk back. Okay, now let's warm up, continue warming up into the glutes and into the core, and now we'll get a little bit of low back too. We want to hold on to the dumbbell with the left hand. From this position, the opposite knee is going to come up. This is called a farmer's walk. We're just going to stay stationary. Now as the knee lifts up, stay nice and tall in the torso, and now the other leg. Perfect. Get that knee as high as you can, keeping the body upright. We have 10, and then we'll switch arms. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side, so start with the opposite knee up. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. Don't you bite your bed. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right, booty band off. Grab a quick sip of water if you need it, and we're going to start our strength portion of the workout. Okay, here's how the strength is going to go. We have 3 different circuits. In each circuit, there's 3 movement patterns, 45 seconds on, 10 seconds break. You can have 1 dumbbell, 2 dumbbells, or you can say to hell with it, I don't want to use any dumbbells. It's your choice, okay? Our reps are going to be slow though, so I want you to make sure if you do want to challenge yourself that you have a weight heavy enough that will challenge you. Our first one is a goblet squat. I'll show you a really cool way to hold on to 2 dumbbells in a goblet. Just push them together and there you go. So let's get ourselves set up. I'm going to push the timer. When the goblet squat starts, you want those feet wider than the shoulders, all right? And your knees are going to track with the toes. Drop down as low as you can. Ideally, though, you intermediate and advanced people, thighs parallel to the ground. Yes? Yes. All right, get set up. We're going to get going in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, here we go. So chest is lifted. Good. Slow and controlled on the way down, and then fully stand up. Don't bother about pushing the hips forward. We don't want to go too much into back extension here. When we're done this, we'll move into a deadlift pattern. If you find you can't get too deep, okay, take the stance wider. Right? If you have tight hips, you might need a wider stance. And then take a peek, make sure the knees and the toes are tracking together, and your torso's fairly upright. Coming down as low as you can, ideally thighs parallel to your floor. Time. All right, now let's get set up with the dumbbells on the ground. Okay, 1 or 2, totally up to you. Have them in between the ankles. Now bend the knees, hip hinge for me. Grab onto the ends of the dumbbells and then pull up. Hip hinge, dumbbells touch your ground and drive up. So we want the dumbbells, as I said, in between the feet, so it's a wider stance deadlift here. And we are hinging from the hip. So just what I taught you at the beginning, neutral spine, perfect. Now when this is done, we're gonna place our feet either up on a chair, or you can use your coffee table, or your couch, or bed, wherever you're at. I just want your feet elevated for a bridge. And advanced people, you can keep one dumbbell close by so we can add weight onto the hips. Time. Okay, so you're gonna place the feet just on the very edge of whatever you're using. Good. George, you're being very unprofessional. There we go. Dumbbell on the hips if you'd like. Push through the heels and drive the hips up. Perfect. Now there's a few different ways you can do bridges. Okay, you can do them with the feet on the ground. Feet elevated. It's going to make it a little bit more challenging. You'll definitely feel hamstrings too. Or you can do a hip thrust where the upper body is on the chair and your feet are on the ground. We've done those in the workouts too. That's one really good glute burn. So those are our 3 moves, okay? We're gonna take it back to that goblet squat, round 2 of 3 coming up. Hold that dumbbell so the glutes are taking the weight. Perfect. Time. All right, everybody, you ready? Beautiful. Use your legs to get your dumbbells, not your low back. Grab them, 1, 2, or none. Feet apart, toes turned out, down, drive up. So our movement patterns are slow. We're really trying to get a good feel of the muscles we're trying to train. So on this particular one, quads, hamstrings, and glutes. And if you don't have dumbbells that are fatiguing your muscles, so they're just not heavy enough, you could take the movement even slower. That's another way of increasing your intensity without having to change the size dumbbell that you're using. Oh, my dog. He's destroying his pet skunk right now. Time. All right, dumbbells in between the feet. Okay, feet out, toes turned out. Now hip hinge and bend the knees a bit. Grab the dumbbells and drive up. Good. So we're driving up using the legs and the glutes, not the upper body. Yeah, my husband bought him that skunk in the summer when he got skunked. He got skunked really bad. And the next day, Larry thought it'd be entertaining to get him a pet skunk. I still have post-traumatic syndrome from that night. Bridges coming up. Time. All right, so you can use the dumbbell if you want to increase the intensity on this one. Okay. Hips are close to your chair. George, seriously. All right, ready? Drive up. Go lay down. Thank you for the kiss, but lay down. That's a good boy. One more round, and then we'll move on. This is also a good sub-move bridge if you've got sensitive knees. Okay, so if you want to either sub out movements that bother the knees, or if you're looking to strengthen the knees, sometimes it's due to the fact that this area, which we call the posterior chain, your hamstrings and glutes are weak. So we're going to hit all those areas in this workout too. Time. Okay, stand on up. Again, use your legs to get up, not your low back, and use your legs to get your dumbbells. Feet apart, toes turned out, chest lifted, down and drive up. Nice. Now let's try a little tempo change here. Let's take it down for 4, Good. And drive up for 1. Down for 4. Drive up for 1. Good. So another way of switching up the intensity. So we're lowering down what we call the eccentric contraction, slower, and then drive up, push through the heels. Good. So it's 4, 3, 2, 1, 1 count up. Time. Beautiful. All right. So bend the knees to get the dumbbells down. All right. They're in between the feet. Maybe I'll go straight on this time. Let's see if that works better for you. All right. Head up, chest up, drive up using the booty. Hinge forward, neutral spine. So there's no discomfort whatsoever in my low back. Now our final series of movements, just an FYI, we'll be doing a single leg version of this. So when we get there and the single leg doesn't work for you, so if you have SI joint problems or it's not working for you, I want you to come back to this one, okay? Single leg movement patterns are not good with people with SI joint dysfunction. Not good at all. Time. All right, let's get ourselves set up for that bridge. You can have the dumbbell rest on the hips if you'd like. Bum close to your chair or couch and drive up. Lower it down so the bum just barely brushes your mat and then boom, back up again. Oh, he's back with another toy. Time. All right, come on up. Now, we're going to work more quad or front part of the body, or front area of the body now, so front of your thighs. With that said, though, our first 2 movements are lunges. I know that aggravates some people in their knees. If that's you, I want you to get the booty band back on above the knees. Hold on to your couch, chair, or wall. Bend that knee, and you'll do the side leg lifts or fire hydrants. While we do the lunges, we do the other side, you'll do the other side, and then when we do the final move, you're gonna squat and hold. Okay, so I'll cue you through that. Otherwise, those of you that are doing the lunges, you can hold on to 1 or 2 dumbbell. We're gonna do a stationary lunge. So hold it up close to the chest, step back with 1 leg, and then let's drop the knee down. So we don't want that knee too far behind us. All right, now from this position, tuck the back toe under and drive up, straighten the legs. And now see how far you can go down. If you can go back down to the knee, just kissing your mat, go for it. If that bothers the knee, you go in a range of motion that works for you, or side leg lifts or fire hydrants. So always give options for the common offenders in movement patterns, and lunges is a very common offender. When the timer goes, other leg. Torso is fairly upright. My front knee's tracking with my ankle, my toes. I'm not letting it jut past my toe box. And I don't do time. I don't have a very far stride behind me. Okay, so some people really overstride themselves, and that places the low back in a bad position. So start with the back knee on the ground, tuck the toe under, and then drive up. Our third move of this series, we'll use 1 dumbbell for side-to-side lunges. Again, if lunges don't work for you, all right, what did I want you to do? I totally forget. It'll come to me. Time. All right, so we're gonna hold on to one dumbbell, okay? And we'll take it to the side, and then switch, and the other side. Go. One leg is straight, hinge through the hips. If these side lunges bother you, and you've got that booty band on, feet apart, you give me that squat. Now, if you feel up to it, you can grab the other dumbbell and frame your foot with each dumbbell, okay? So double up the weight. Remember to hip hinge. That's right. Even here, you want to hip hinge. Time. Okay, so those are our moves. Back to lunges. And just for your information, I'm using 15s throughout this workout. All right, so stationary lunge. I'm going to use both dumbbells now. Drive up, front leg straight. Come down as low as it feels comfortable. Torso is upright. The lunges bother your knees, even at a limited range of motion, you're going to put that booty band on, do side leg lifts. If you don't have a booty band, check out the link down below in the description. My shop page, okay, I've got different booty bands that I use and recommend on that page that'll take you right to Amazon. So I recommend having a latex one like I'm using today, as well as a cloth one, because for higher rep workouts like this one, you're going to want the latex. Time. Other leg back. All right, get yourself set up, back knee to the ground. Here we go, drive up, begin. And the good news is you can afford a few different booty bands. They're pretty cheap. Push through that front heel as you drive up. Weight is in that back leg as well. So both legs are working. Time. Okay, side to side lunges. You can keep both dumbbells, frame the foot, or one, and change the arm each time we go over. Ready? Step out to one side, push the hips back. Great job. Woo. Getting a good thigh burn on this one. So with the side lunge, I want you to be aware too that you're keeping yourself squared to me. So some people will rotate towards that leg stepping out. Keep the foot, both feet, hips and knees pointed straight ahead. And then when those are straight ahead, the shoulders will naturally follow. Time. All right, this is our last set. So either fire hydrants or join me, lunges. Back knee on ground, tuck the back toe under, drive up. So we're going slow enough too throughout this workout that we're getting between maybe 10 to 15 reps. So we're trying to feel the muscles we're focusing on, slowing down that movement pattern, and maybe going even slower if the dumbbells aren't heavy enough for us. Remember that cue, go a little slower. Time, it'll increase that intensity. All right, other leg behind you. Whew. Whatever you're chewing on, George, it stinks. And go. We're lucky though, he doesn't chew shoes. He just destroys his own stuff. He leaves ours alone. He does carry our slippers around if we're not home, but he just carries them in his mouth and puts them on his bed. So we get home, they're wet, but they're not chewed. Woo! Time. Whoa. All right, hang in there. We got one more. Side lunges. So not a lot of cardio in this workout, as I promised. This is pure strength. Step out. Keep yourself squared to me. Push back. Other leg. Almost there. Water breaks coming up. Time. Whew, nicely done. All right, maybe shake your hands out. We got about a 15-second break before the next series, and this is our final series, FYI. You want your chair, coffee table, couch close by again. Now, I'm using only one dumbbell for this one, okay? It's a single leg Romanian deadlift. That just means we're hip hinging a bit more and bending the knee than a traditional deadlift. Can you go over there, dude? Attaboy. As I said before, if you find that this is too much, you go back to the two-legged. So let's start. Dumbbell in your left hand, okay? All right, and then I want you to kick the left leg back. So it's just back about 1.5 feet, nothing extreme. So what we're placing is most of that weight of our body on that front leg, on our right leg. From here, take a peek, real quick peek. We hip hinge, dumbbell stays close to the body, and then we push through the heel and drive up, okay? One dumbbell, preferably heavier one. Ready, set, and go. So focusing on that right leg. You should be feeling it in the glute, and then you'll feel it in the hamstring. Like I mentioned that first series that we did with the deadlift, you should feel nothing in your low back. The low back muscles are definitely fired up, but we have a neutral spine, okay? George, not a really good time to play. We have a neutral spine, and if you have SI joint issues, I want you to go back to that single leg one, or sorry, two leg one, okay? Go on, lay down, lay down. Time, other leg. Lay down, down. Here we go, soft knee, push the hips back, and come forward. My other hand's just resting on my hip. I'm pushing through the heel, driving up, using my glutes, okay? Nothing's happening in the upper body. You know what the problem is I'm filming this way too close to dinner time. Now our next movement, or our final one of this series, heels are up on your chair, couch, or coffee table, and the legs are going to be fairly straight. We'll bridge again, but that time, the straight leg's going to put more emphasis in the hamstrings. So no dumbbell on the hips for this guy. Legs are fairly straight. Arms are off the ground, just a slight bend in the knees, and then lift the hips up and drive down. Good. Toes and knees pointed straight up to your ceiling. Squeezing the glutes, but feeling this more in the hamstrings. So that's our series. Timer goes, go back to that one-legged RDL. This is also a really nice exercise sub too if you have sensitive knees for other leg exercises. Whoo, you should be feeling that time in those hamstrings. All right, use your legs to get up and grab that dumbbell. Kick that left leg back about 1.5 feet. Hip hinge, other hand's on the hip, so this is the forward, the front view. Good, and shoulders are squared, so we've got activation in the upper back muscles, core muscles, shoulders. So those are what we would call your stabilizers. So they're all holding the dumbbell, stabilizing the body. Our main movers, hamstrings and glutes. And again, this is why I love working with dumbbells. We get a lot more muscles involved than if I were to sit you in a machine and get you to do a leg curl. All right, that would just get hamstrings. That's it. End of story. Why? Why do that? Time, other side. Well, we can get so much more in. All right, kick that back leg back. Again, we want most of the weight now in that left leg. Here we go. Go, hip hinge, drive up. This dog cannot be still for more than 10 seconds. I guess he's very similar to a toddler. Straight leg lifts coming up. Time. Okay, heels on. Again, you want just a slight bend in those knees, okay? Get the hands off the ground. We're not pushing off with the arms. Go. We're using glutes and hammies. When your bum just hits your ground, back up again right away. Time under tension. Keep tension in those glutes, in those hamstrings. Tell that lower body, this is the last series of movements. We'll give the hamstrings a beautiful stretch to thank them, but they still got to give us a little bit more work. Time. Woo! All right, come on up. Dumbbell in the left hand, right leg's the working leg, softness in both knees, and hip hinge, drive up. Belly button's drawn in towards the spine, activating the TA muscle or transverse abdominis. And that's really your inner weight belt too. So if we fire that up, it can really give the low back some good support and protect it. Another way to fire that baby up, planks. Left hand is pretty close to the inside of this right leg. One more. Time. All right, other side. Kick that leg back. Again, not too far. We're not getting into a lunge pattern. Soften that front leg. Go. Hip hinge. So when we do this, we're hip hinging and actually pushing the bum back. So a really good cue is pretend you got a wall about a foot behind you and you're trying to touch the wall with your butt. Keep breathing. Should be feeling that hamstring, that front leg glute. Yes? Yes? Can I hear you say yes? Okay, good. Legs straight. Ready? Go. Drive those hips up. Okay, this is our last round, last exercise. This is it. Come on, you guys. Get those hips up a little higher. Knees can be bent by all means. You don't want them locked out. Press those hips up. Almost there. Time. Nicely done. You stay where you are. Pull the knees into the chest. Rock the knees side to side. Give the low back and glutes some love. Don't leave me yet. We've got a few stretches to do. And then I'm going to link up a really good abduction routine. Short and sweet if you've got the time and energy. All right. Lower the right leg to the ground. Extend your left one straight up. Woo, and say hello to your hamstring. Press the heel up towards your ceiling. Now here's a tip for you. If you find that this hamstring that we're stretching starts to shake, I want you to let it go a bit, okay? That's actually the stretch reflex in your hamstring thinking that you're going to overstretch it, so it's contracting its little heart out because it doesn't want to be ripped. And you will not be able to relax and lengthen a muscle that is shaking. So find that edge of yours, but you don't want it shaking. Now left ankle crosses over right thigh, pull in for figure 4, hands come behind that right thigh, and then guide that right knee to the outside of the right shoulder. And say hello to that left glute and left hip. So yeah, if you've been working out with me for a while, just an FYI, the last 20 seconds of the video, so you gotta stay to the very end, I'll always link up a good complement to what we did, whether it's a fit tip, so if we just did a workout using the TRX, for instance, a fit tip about how to adjust your TRX quickly. Or in this instance, we've done a really good strength workout, so I'm going to link up a really fun, short, quick ab routine. So if you've got the time and energy, I really recommend it. You've already got your runners on, you're already in your workout gear, why not? But again, you got to wait till the very end. All right, left leg to the ground, extend that right. Hands can be behind the thigh, draw it in, press the leg up, and breathe. And that goes for any YouTube video, any YouTube channel, period. If they don't have, they're called end cards in the industry. And if the YouTube channel does not have end cards, they're missing out on an opportunity to get the viewer to watch more of their videos and to help the viewer out more. All right, cross the ankle over the thigh, pull that left knee in. Left knee lines up with the outside of that left shoulder. And I hope you subscribe to the channel, even if you are not a big joiner and you don't really do that sort of thing. People who subscribe to the channel, it does help the channel. It helps us in the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, we would really appreciate a subscribe, and that way YouTube will say, hey, people like this channel, we're going to suggest it to other women around the world, and it helps us grow that way. So your support on that would be really appreciated. And bring yourself up. Let's get the legs apart, okay? Into a wide adductor stretch. Hands are behind you. Here, I'll come this way, actually. All right, push your tailbone back, push yourself forward, and say ha to the inner thighs. So we want to hinge forward again from that hip joint, not too much from the upper back. And release, kneeling position, get yourself set up for hip flexor stretch. Knee underneath the hip, lunge forward, good, there's a better view here. And then inhale that arm up and reach. Other leg. So we've got the knee lined up with the hip. It's a slight lunge forward, but the main thing you want to think about is contracting that back glute, and that's going to help us release that hip flexor. So thank you so much for joining me and for joining George. We appreciate it. And as I said, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you've been to a few of the workouts, we would love to see you join the Patreon community. All the information's down below in the description. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next workout. Bye.